Hello, and welcome back to Fallen Dragons episode 17 Iron Shadow. Just before the break, you guys got everything set up for the concert, and people, towns, people had started wandering onto the grounds. Um, so, what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm getting all of my instruments set up on the stage. And I'm going to have to eventually, when the Dragonborn's ready, get her hoisted up.
Are you going to do that, or
Unless there's somebody better,
No,
more dexterous than I.
no.
It probably isn't.
I think
well, who in the party has the better dex modifier?
I have a +2.
I have +3.
oh,
Okay, well, there you go.
the cleric can hoist up the dragonborn.
I got an 11.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe this was a bad idea.
Now,
But I have guidance.
so Lucid tried to hoist you up and then
So it's a
remembered
12.
he tried to hoist you up and then remembered that you hadn't gotten all shiny yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait. We need to grease her up.
Yeah, I have my wax. I need to wax my
All right,
scale.
Who's gonna grease up the dragon?
Well, I do have the highest dexterity.
Use your dexterous fingers and get her nice and shiny.
I suggest coconut oil.
We have a special magical wax that
Yeah, I have-
allows dragonborns to.
Dragon scale wax.
If we're running on the wax, a 22.
You know, we sprung for like the tingling, heating up kind.
Mm.
Was that a 22, Pat, to grease the dragon?
Yeah.
I still have some leftover teriyaki sauce if anyone's interested.
Okay. So, so you guys spend the next half an hour to an hour getting the Dragonborn all ready to go.
You gotta have a 5-gallon bucket of that loose. and like a paint roller.
And this is going on where?
Right beneath the the crane.
Yeah.
So is she at the side of the stage, or where is she?
Well, I thought we decided she would be like over the middle of the crowd.
So
like right in the
As-
front of the stage to
so as
dangle.
as
So
the
you bring her like Miley Cyrus, like
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
love it.
So as the crowd starts wandering in, they see this going on, and they see you setting up your instruments, and they're all like, "What in the world is this?"
Meanwhile, I'm slipping them like some hallucinogenic substances, they're definitely going to be wondering what's going on.
Because these are,
I look at
So-
Smite. I look at a guy that's clearly on drugs. I look at Smite.
and because these are small, you know, people from the neighboring village, they've never seen anything even remotely close to this.
I don't think I've seen anything remotely close to this.
I'm trying to imagine being someone in the crowd who's already taken a hit of something and this is going on in front of them. And like, this is going to start a religion. This is somebody's religion origin story. I looked up, man, and there was this golden glowing dragon, and it raised into the air, and I felt the presence of God.
I cast thaumaturgy on her so her eyes glow.
I cast Druidcraft so that there's a scent of ozone in the air in the whole, like, stadium seating area.
And there was this pounding like drum, and I just I saw the secrets of the universe in those that dragon just in the sky.
Okay. Let's see if this happens. Ooh. Um. Some of the crowd is actually starting to freak out with the combination of the drugs and the, you know, strange instruments and the dragonborn and the tiefling and the, yeah. Some of the crowd is actually starting to panic because they've never seen anything like this before.
Then we shout mosh.
The people who are starting to panic stop long enough to give you this look like, what?
The other people just start slamming into them from the side. Because we
I
explained
know.
what this was at the beginning of the set.
I was about to say I could pull out my bagpipes and try to play something soothing.
What's soothing on bagpipes?
Look, I have a plus 11 to performance. I can pull this off.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
So
I
give me a performance roll to see if it works.
I'll even give you guidance so you get an extra d4 on it.
oh, an extra d4.
Yep.
Okay, that's a 15. Oh wait, plus 11, so 26.
So oddly enough, you start playing this very mellow, lilting melody on the bagpipes, which is odd in itself.
My own version of Amazing Grace.
Yeah. And upon hearing this, people just turn and go, "You've got to be kidding."
then I release the ravens.
Because now there's music accompanying the colors that they're seeing,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden there's a flock of ravens flying over, and
Quick, hoist the dragon.
people
It'll-
people are confused as to whether they should run or just sit and see what the next thing that's going to happen is.
Lucid, hoist the dragon. Here's guidance.
Hoist the dragon! Alright, hoist the dragon. Let's see how it goes. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it doesn't sound good.
I got
You
it.
drop, you
10.
drop
Yeah.
me. I'm not above turning on my own party members.
You got a what?
A 10.
with guidance.
Yeah.
Oh, we really
Uh,
shouldn't have let him do the hoisting.
No.
You're trying to hoist her up, but she weighs too much, and you're not able to do it.
I will stop playing bagpipes long enough to try to do it myself.
Guidance.
So,
That would be a 14.
With guidance.
Yes.
Oh god.
Look, I'm assuming that the polish made her very slippery.
yeah. Maybe more than one of you should try this at a time.
I will help.
I
Okay.
will play the gong in the meantime. I got a 21.
Huh.
Apparently, playing the gong is something Lucid has always wanted to do in his life.
And while he does that, I got a natural 20 for plus a d4 for guidance, which was a 4. So I got 24 on the hoist check.
You didn't need me at all.
So Otto just, walks up to the rope and
I'm like, guys, if you use the fulcrum here, then you can just lift her up.
Oh, there was a pulley?
And boom. She's swinging in the sky.
so now there's a polished dragonborn swinging over the crowd,
Fairy
Which-
fire.
which doesn't necessarily make them any less panicky than they were before.
She's limbed in purplish glowing flames too.
Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause
The
I'm-
ones who you mentioned were having a religious experience are now like cowering at the side of the stage because this creature who they thought was a deity is now on fire, which means it must not be very happy with them because it's looking more and more angry all the time. Um, so you have people trying to hide now.
They can cower under the tables. That's fine.
Only a gratuity will quell the goddess.
Give of yourselves. Give of your wallets.
Yeah, I wanna attempt to cast thaumaturgy and just see what happens with the intention of screaming something at them to make them drop their wallets and run away. Party's over.
Even though we're in the middle of the set.
Part of my song has just turned into me hitting the gong in rhythm to me yelling, "Appease your goddess, give of yourself."
Natural 20.
Modern
Natural
art.
20.
Are you kidding?
I know this is in combat, so
So you can roll
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. But an odd thing happens. People start surrounding you because they know they've realized that you were the one handing stuff out earlier. And they figure if one dose of stuff caused them to see this, another dose should get them to calm down.
That's not how that works, guys.
Well, they don't know that. So people are surrounding you wanting more drugs and
One pill
figuring
makes
that,
you bigger, one pill makes you small.
yeah,
I'm not above not giving them something, but now there's a cost.
well,
Only your first one's free, man.
Yeah. So I have in my little pouch. I have like little wrapped parcels. I pull out the little wrapped parcels and offer them for your wallet.
at this point they're panicking so much that they're like, sure. They're like, anything to get me out of this.
I untie my cloak and hold it out, and they just start throwing their wallets in there. I like reach into my little pouch and sprinkle them.
As the
Fine
Seder,
dusting of whatever.
as the Seder is playing on stage and the Dragonborn is spinning in the air above them, and they're all freaking out. They're all going, I should have stayed at the bar. Because they've never seen anything remotely like this.
This is what they're going to be talking about for the next year and a half.
At least.
Quick
The
druid,
becomes
bite the
their
head off
life.
the ravens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Oh,
start eating raven heads.
where do you walk up on stage and
Oh, yeah.
do this? Or?
For sure.
I cast light on the raven.
Yeah, so it glows, and then I eat its head.
And the small percentage of people who weren't panicking are now panicking.
I shout, "Give to the goddess!"
This is my kind of party.
And they're confused because there's a glowing gold thing above them, and then the tiefling over here with a cape full of wallets. And so they're immensely confused because 90% of them have taken something by now, and
I shout down to Otto to throw one of the headless raven bodies up in the air so I can try to hit it with my lightning breath weapon.
Sure. I'll send a bunch of ravens up to carry the body aloft.
Give me basically the hit roll. See if you can.
And they're making it easy, so it can't be that hard of a hit roll. They're trying to get hit.
Well, yes, but she's still spinning and
Oh yeah, she's
in the
spinning.
circle in the air and stuff.
21.
Okay.
It,
We should
This
be
is
in
loud.
combat right now.
you basically breathe in and blast your lightning out, and every raven in the within 10 feet of you burst into flame.
Yeah, that's gonna make people feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
I don't think that's our goal anymore.
I think we're just fleecing them now.
You know, I wasn't going for shock metal, but you know, I'm just gonna roll with it.
Comfortable,
Man.
comfortable is now long past bad memory.
I wasn't trying to be Lordy, but I'll be Lordy, I guess.
It's like, now the ones who thought the Dragonborn was their goddess are truly afraid. They're like running to the hide behind the stage and all, because lightning has come out of this goddess type person, and
What?
to them they're like, oh no, she must be displeased with us, and they're all running to hide as quickly as possible.
Roll by fear.
Well, that kind of throws off my next plan because I was going to start having lightning strike behind the stage. But, but if there's people there, that's probably a bad plan.
Well,
I mean, hit a few of them. That'll really teach them. Send them to whatever.
there, almost everybody there is looking for a place to hide now.
This is where you start beating the war drums.
Yeah, I, you know what? We're gonna kick up the war drums. We're gonna go all in on war drums, and I will use a foot to kick the gong while I'm at it.
And this entire time, Mr. Fredrickson and Claire have been standing in the doorway of the house, just doubled over laughing because, you know, especially when they see the tiefling's cloak full of wallets and stuff. They're like, hey, we don't have to do any work.
Yeah, you just have to get him off the tiefling.
Oh, they're all hiding now.
It's like I don't
Stash things.
have to use staff to do this now.
Smarter, not harder.
I'm just wondering if the Iron Shadow are going to show up to this, or if they're going to stay well the hell away from it.
Well, I'm gonna use my stage presence to say, if you want to appease the golden goddess and do not want her to smite her wrath down upon you, if you know any in the midst of you that is traitorous and affiliated with such traitorous groups such as the Iron Shadow. You must thrust them forward now so that they may meet her wrath and spare you.
That's smart.
Well, and everybody in the crowd is sort of like, who? What?
I'm sure some people get shoved forward just because, this is how you get rid of your enemies. But
Hey, that's just Kevin. He's not in the Iron Shadow.
Like,
he just
yeah,
His name
sucks.
he needs up on the
it's
block
like,
anyway.
yeah, but he owes me money. So,
He's dating my sister and I don't like him.
yeah, right, yeah. Actually, any hobgoblin in the crowd would then be, because the Iron Shadow are hobgoblins. And so any hobgoblin in the crowd would be singled out.
Yeah, and when that happens, and it's obviously mostly hobgoblins, I'm gonna be like, guys, that's kind of racist and not cool.
Well,
But line them up.
um, okay, let me see here. How is this gonna go? One dice. Okay. As the crowd attempts to do this with skill the likes of which you have not seen, three of the hobgoblins turn on the crowd and basically destroy them.
Oh, thanks for
They're
singling yourselves out, guys.
they're they're
Calling.
there are now piles of dead people laying on the ground, and
Wait, we just killed the crowd?
No, these 3 Iron Shadows just showed up and did.
We indirectly killed the crowd.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we looted them first.
Well, they're
Well,
definitely lootable now.
well, yeah, I was gonna say, even if you had, it's much easier now than it was.
So yeah, actually I'll direct what remains of my flock of ravens to go attack those 3.
Give me an attack roll.
Okay? 16 plus my spell attack modifier, would it be?
Yeah.
Alright, so plus 8, so 24.
Okay. That's a hit. What kind of damage did they do?
Probably like, I don't know actually, let me check. I think it's like D4.
Yeah, I was gonna say they wouldn't do a whole lot of damage.
Swarm of ravens, beaks, 2d6 damage.
Okay. Roll damage.
10.
Now, is that toward one of them, or are they divided up, attacking all
I think
three
they'd
of
probably
them?
divide it up to attack all three.
So,
It's like 3 points each.
yeah.
Fly, my pretties, fly!
So now it's their turn.
The ravens are resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Fingers crossed.
That, that is a 15 to hit.
That hits them.
And basically, what you see these three do after they get attacked is to just grab them and throw them
Okay.
out of midair. And um, and with that, they exit.
Oh no. Can I have my ravens follow them? Or do they get out of range fast?
Any shadow, any nearby shadow, they disappear into.
Oh, okay, so I can't track them because I can't even see them.
Yeah, because it's dark outside, so
Right.
they can just disappear.
It's not like I have dark vision or anything, so...
I have dark vision.
Were you watching these guys?
Well, I
But
mean, were they glowing? I thought
No.
they didn't.
no,
Oh, they stopped glowing. These are different ravens.
Yeah, the raven that got eaten was only one.
Wasn't the whole.
Yeah. And that one disappeared when I bit its head off, so...
Yeah, I mean, I was watching what was happening.
but these three did in fact help you out because you are now standing amongst a field of unconscious people.
I mean, I need a new pair of boots, so.
Well, what you do from here on is up to you.
I'm picking pockets.
Yeah. I'm gonna go look around to see if I can find any trace of those guys.
Does somebody want to help me get down from
Yeah, I was
this?
about to say I'm gonna help the disco ball down with
That's all
19,
right. You can
so
do
I think she'll make it down safely.
Harnesses
Yeah.
are not that fun when you're being suspended like that.
Yeah, but now since the event has been interrupted and the worshippers of the glowing dragon are now unconscious, there's no real use for her to be swinging back and forth up there. Unless she likes it.
Well, if we're gonna, I mean, our whole purpose was to, get the Iron Shadow people here so we could take care of them. So I think we ought to all head off after them.
Yeah, if I
Yeah,
can track them.
What if
That
we get even down and like push her because she's all looped up, and she goes like taking off in the direction that they were headed. That seems really efficient. I mean, like once she's down.
Well, I don't know how well lube works on grass.
It was all
But-
blue.
Well, it was already wet grass too from the mist.
It's
Well,
like a
yeah,
slip and
that's true.
Slip and slide for the dragonborn.
You've got to decide which direction you want her to go in.
Yeah,
The only problem is we're not gonna get a real good hold on her. Like, what are we gonna grab? The pasties?
Sure. I mean, like we could push, like you know, she could go on the ground and we all like aim at that point. Like,
And the other question is how you gonna stop her.
Yeah.
Are you just hoping she hits a tree or
all gas, no.
Just hoping I hit the Iron Shadow guy so they just go flying like bowling pins.
We'll push her
um,
feet
is
first
flawless.
and avoid the traumatic brain injury.
Oh, traumatic brain injury, traumatic brain injury. I've got
Yeah. I know. It builds character.
Yeah.
well,
Dragonborns have notoriously hard skulls.
I would think so.
It's true. Okay, so it's settled. We throw caution to the wind, head first into the darkness.
and her horns stick into the nearest tree.
Yeah, so let's actually try to figure out what direction they went first, though. What do I do to track somebody?
I don't know, you're the druid. Aren't you supposed to be good at tracking?
Well, if it's survival or investigation or anything like that, I'm okay at it, so. Nature, insight, I don't know. Perception?
Well, investigation.
Okay,
You have.
yeah. I will investigate their tracks.
I'll cast guidance.
Okay. So, 15 plus...
I was wondering what the party cleric was doing while he was standing in a pile of unconscious and or dead bodies.
looting them.
Taking donations for the Storm Lord
So I got a
Yeah.
25 on my
and trying to
investigation.
stabilize people where I can.
You know, I was saying the correct answer is probably
Yeah,
like
it was
last
actually-
rites, but you know,
Yeah.
looting them, sure.
Well, you know,
If they have money, then he gives them the stabilization. Otherwise, he gives them last rites.
What is this? A capitalist hellscape?
Well, yeah, we're in a pirate land.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly.
This is tradition for the land that we're in. I'm only going by tradition.
and if you buy that,
Didn't you read the flyer?
there's a bridge off the northwest coast that, you know, but we won't go there.
Oh no, we lost Robin.
Oh my.
No, we need her to play lawn bowling.
Are the sparklers still going? Because like that feels important.
You know, I hope so, because as she zooms off into the distance, that's going to make a really cool effect.
and it's going to set
Right?
and it's going to set things on fire.
For the next time, we obviously are going to do this. I have an idea for us to give her big packets of glitter to release at the appropriate time for more impressive effect.
I-
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pause until if she comes back. So, yeah,
Okay.
pausing now.
Peace.
Hello. We had a bit of technical difficulty there, but now we're ready to continue. So,
So my investigation check was a 25 with guidance.
so, um, had Otto ever seen a hobgoblin track before?
Um, Let me actually roll for that to see if that's something that he's likely to have seen. I got an 18, so probably at least once.
Okay.
He at least knows what these guys were wearing for their boots when they took off, because he has a really strong memory.
Well, you see tracks going into the forest on the edge of the property.
Okay. I say that direction and start pushing the Dragonborn.
Right now, the Dragonborn is the only source of light you guys have.
Yeah.
Well, it's not like we're gonna lose her.
We should probably get her armor and stuff before we actually do this, now that I think about it.
But she's less slippery then.
At least give me my weapon.
Okay, we can give her the armor, but we're gonna have to lube her up otherwise if we do that.
Why are we looping?
So she can slide quickly. What are you not tracking here?
I think she can walk quickly. I don't know if she needs to slide.
Sliding is faster. Sliding with the right amount of lube, it's a lot faster.
Okay.
It'd be like a bullet train.
Uh,
You are going into a section of woods on the edge of the property with trees and God knows what else.
Yeah, she's gonna hit stuff before we get her sliding too far.
okay, fine. We'll just go that direction. You guys aren't as fun.
I feel like lube is still really important, though.
Lube is still really important. You know, that's fair. I mean, lube is
It gets
definitely
you.
very important, but
It can get us out and into very tight situations.
What she said. Above gang, I hand out safer sex supplies, and we're like, "Oh no, I've been married. I don't need condoms." And I'm like, "But lube though? Hey, like everybody needs lube."
How come I'm envisioning a dragonborn with her horn stuck into a tree and she's just going, help?
And this isn't how it was supposed to work.
so let's
Again,
get her at
we're
least
not in
her
safe
weapons.
situations.
I think we can get her armor, because these guys know what they're doing when they fight.
I mean, they just took out a whole crowd of extremely fucked up people. I don't think that was like a huge challenge.
That's fair.
Well,
but they did it
Yeah, but
quick,
I mean,
and these are pirates.
And I do want my armor. I'm not fighting these guys in pasties. Sorry. as much of an image as that could be, and not doing it.
But just imagine the stories that could be told. The glittering dragon who nearly naked destroyed the enemies. She couldn't even hold her sword correctly because her hands were so slippery.
We need to get her a glove. We can give her a glove.
I love the idea that we're just keeping up this idea that we're just going to keep her lubed up forever.
Well, we don't know how long it takes for this wax to wear off anyway, so...
I don't think we should give it a chance to wear off. I think she's just the slippery dragon now.
It's a blessing and a curse.
And how did you originally get talked into doing this?
She
I
saw a
actually-
woman with horns and just went along with whatever that woman was saying.
Well, I think I actually was the one that volunteered to be the disco ball in the first place. So it was my idea.
See, she wants it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Being a toboggan, on the other hand, I'm not too sure of that.
Aw, I was just about to suggest we were overlooking the obvious. Well, while some of us should push her, like a couple of us could probably ride on her back as she shot off into the forest. Swords drawn, so that if we pass any of them, we just take shots at them.
So not only did she hit a tree, but anybody on her back does too.
We could steer, right? It's like a ballast.
Yeah,
All right,
just grab her
everyone,
by the
leave.
horns and
It's
direct
kind
in
of
the
a
direction.
great idea.
I think this is a terrible plan, and I'm going to get her armor back, because I think that she needs to be armored to fight.
Why don't we turn into a wolf or a horse or something and go run after them?
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I should probably turn into a wolf and run after them, but first I'm gonna direct her at least to where we put her armor.
Pointer.
Yeah, just, here you go, there's your armor.
Okay, we'll compromise. You turn into a wolf, we'll lube you up.
No,
Slippery now.
And then
no.
if any of the guys try to grab you, you're extra slippery.
All his hair is
All kinds of ways too. I mean, it could just get really fun for everybody.
all his hair is matted into clumps and stuff. Ugh.
In fact, I say we all get lubed up.
This
And
is...
this becomes the calling card of our group.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Good thing we got the 5-gallon bucket.
Well, you see, we got a ship. We could be the slippery sea dogs.
This is what she show up for this game for. This kind of banter.
And at this point, Claire is looking at Lucid going, just shaking her head like, are you actually associated with these people?
No.
And be like, Lucid, come, we need your help lubing up the rest of the party.
I don't know these people. But I mean, I'll go help put lube on everyone. I'll take this one for the team.
Oh, you know what I can do? I can turn into a giant toad and be already lubed.
No, no, you see, you turn into a snake, like a big snake,
Okay.
and we lube you up, and that's infinitely funnier.
Claire walks up to you and whispers in your ear, says, I have a better use for that.
Oh, do tell me more.
Uh, and she just turns and walks back into the house.
I definitely follow her.
No, we need your help. Come with us. You need to fight on our behalf.
Go get it, girl.
We're fighting? I'm sorry, I thought we were just going all lubed up into the forest. I misunderstood what was happening here.
You're supposedly trying to find where the 3 Iron Shadow members went.
So I'm gonna turn into a wolf, look back at everyone, shake my head, and start tracking them by scent.
I guess I follow Otto.
No, you're just gonna okay. You know, I'd follow her in.
You got no game, honey.
Well,
Like it's all
Lucid,
a platter at this point. Go get it.
Lucid and Claire have a somewhat checkered history.
She only tried to kill him once, twice.
Yeah.
You know what they say about crazy chicks?
And, you know, she seems to be hanging out wherever Mr. Fredrickson happens to be, so that could be somewhat of a complication.
Or maybe they're just down for a +1. But we'll never know.
Lucid never did talk to her about what the situation is here.
I like to play it by ear.
Which is why he's following me into the woods as I'm turned into a giant wolf. Makes perfect sense.
Probably trying to write in a scroll as he's running forward.
Yeah.
And given that it's pitch black outside, then especially as you hit the tree line, it's going to be very difficult for actually Otto, when you're in wolf form, do you have can you see in the dark in your wolf form?
I think so. Let me check. Giant or dire wolf. Dire wolf. Keen hearing and smell. So it doesn't look like I have I rely on my sight that much. I listen and I smell for when I'm trying to track people down.
Okay. Given the darkness, that's probably better anyway.
Yeah.
So as Otto and Lucid charge toward the woods, what are the other 3 of you doing?
Well, I mean, I'm all fine with hanging back and getting lubed up with these two ladies if that's what they want.
Okay,
That's my type of party, so.
I
so
mean, if it's the three of us, we know Claire's down to party too.
So you're not going to follow us into the woods?
I'm just
You're
talking
a wolf.
options.
You're a wolf. You've got this.
Okay.
so I don't want to lose it, run off into the woods. Did the three of you head into the house, or are you doing this outside, or what are you doing?
Is the disco goddess still on fire?
No.
No, that faded.
No.
Okay.
That only lasts a minute.
When you let her down, all of that stopped.
I mean, weighing my options here. Running off into the woods after a wolf and like 3 little hobgoblins. They got this. I'm lazy.
You're much less likely to get injured if you don't go charging off into the woods.
I mean, I got my one good dice roll of the year.
I
Pretty much, yeah.
mean, on a logical note, if we're going to try to do something productive, we should probably try to help the Dragonborn become less noticeable and slippery.
Yeah, given her color already stands out. Yeah.
Just throw a cloak over her.
making her copper scales stand out even more may not be a good idea. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we could use her as a distraction, but
People are like, ooh, shiny.
What would you use her as a distraction for? What would you be doing while she's distracting people?
Crime. Definitely crime.
I was about to say steal their wallets, but
There are you talk there's nobody conscious on the grounds at the moment. If you're talking in the village and the bar, that's another story, but you can easily loot the um, unconscious concert goers at this point.
well, here's my
Smite
thing,
has their wallets anyway.
and my hesitance about going into the woods is kind of the idea that that seems far too convenient for them to be revealed, kill everyone, and then run away like, hey, chase me.
Yes, because they can disappear in any shadow, and you're talking nighttime in the woods. So
I just think it feels like a bad idea to go running headlong into the woods.
Which is why Otto did it.
Yes.
it's why Lucid phone.
Well, he's gonna need help.
Yeah.
You know, you were tasked by Mr. Fredrickson to find these and dispatch them if you want the Genesium you came for. So, how you do it is up to you.
Well, I mean, we can't get the drugs if we're dead.
No.
Very true.
And technically, it would be much easier to find them in daylight, but
But well, auto's charged head first and cleric in tow, so I'm just going to play a definitely not a funeral ballad as they charge away.
very supportive of you.
To be fair, my only agreement to this whole thing was that I get to play a show.
Well,
And I
you
got what I
definitely.
wanted, and I rocked so hard they all died, and that is the story I
Yeah.
am going to stick with.
Legendary.
Yep.
And since there's all this, free food that these unconscious people aren't eating, I think I'm just gonna help myself.
Which
Oh.
at at some point, as Otto was wandering around in the woods, that would suddenly hit your memory and be,
Yeah, that's the first thing I smell when I turn into a wolf, so it's very difficult for me to not just head over to the food part.
By the way, my suggestion, we have all of these people who are, some of them are going to wake up and not die. If we're going to go with this whole, like, creating a religion thing, we need to, like, place their bodies in cryptic symbols.
That sounds like a lot of work. Unconscious people are dead weight.
That's true.
We have a dragonborn. Oh, we could like lube them up and slide them around. I mean, we bought in bulk. It's just, I mean, like,
It's
you gotta do.
I want to use it.
So
You
see,
gotta-
for my next show, I'm going to need to invest in a lube cannon and just coat the crowd ahead of time.
oh god.
Lube.
Just super soakers filled with lube.
I could just see you walking into some magic shop and asking some wizard to make it.
Gross.
Air pressure. It's not magic. It's just air pressure.
Also, if we ever want to get out of this pirating game, I have a fantastic idea for opening up a certain establishment utilizing shiny bits and lots of lube. I'm just putting that out there for later.
I mean, we could put that in our casino because I feel like that was part of the plan.
The casino hasn't been mentioned in I can't remember how long now.
Oh, you have a casino?
It was a goal of mine.
Yeah. They early on they wanted to build one.
That would fund Genesium.
And I mean, I think we have, well, I mean, I would volunteer for it, but I think we also have another good option for an opening act as well. Can you imagine a burlesque show with the glittering dragon?
Oh my goodness. I know, she was so burlesque.
You could practice getting the tassels to go in opposite directions.
That is an art.
Yeah. That actually takes practice.
Especially on a dragon chest.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know.
All right, so it's settled. We give up adventuring. We open a casino.
Dash Donald.
with a back room that's stocked fully with lube.
Basically, a bar where you can gamble is what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
and we have a room with a big pole on it that we have big glittering dragon axe.
And like lukewarm shrimp cocktail.
Yeah.
It'll make money hand over fist. We will have that gymnasium before probably the end of like 6 months.
Done paid.
See what happens when the guys are, stupidly running face first into the enemy. The women figure it out.
That is if Otto doesn't lay waste to the buffet. So, yeah.
The lukewarm shrimp cocktail has been there for weeks. So.
That's what lesser restoration's for. It cures disease.
Otto will eat anything, no matter what, as long as it's not moving. Otto will eat it.
Even if it is moving sometimes. He got that finger early on, and that helps.
If you can catch it, yes.
Yeah. I've got a good move speed as a wolf.
So, are you guys gonna troop through the woods all night, or are you gonna wait till morning to try and find these guys?
I was just gonna see if I could catch their scent trail and like know what direction they were headed.
I guess give me an investigation check then.
Okay. Do I get advantage on this because it's keen hearing and smell?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't need advantage, I rolled a 20.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's 28.
You catch their scent, basically headed back toward the village.
Okay. So they've got a base somewhere in the village. Probably. Unless they headed back to a boat. Can I like memorize their smells so that I can sniff them out later when I'm in the village?
Yeah.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna go back to that food cart.
He's headed back to the grounds where all the food tables are.
Yep.
There's also several bottles of alcohol that these unconscious people did not use.
I'm sure that someone will crack those open as we're feasting. So speaking of feasting and unconscious people, do any of them smell particularly appetizing, as I'm a wolf? Or I should say dead people.
You have carcasses of all races if you have a particular favorite taste in mind.
Well, if there's a fairy corpse around, Otto's never actually eaten a fairy, so...
God, that joke's too easy. Come on.
That you don't find. Because
they're just too rare.
Well, fairies have their own court and hierarchy, and they would be in direct conflict with some of the people here,
Hmm,
so they tend to not interact.
darn. Well, the food tents or whatever they set up for that, that'll have to tide them over.
Mm. Considering the food was only like half eaten, Otto proceeds to eat the other half and becomes very tired and sluggish at that point. Because that's a lot of food even for Otto.
Yeah, he's only a large beast right now.
Mm. Well, Fredrickson's cook had set out food for 100 people.
Oh yeah,
So,
I don't think he gets through the whole half of the food, even
right.
even being a dire wolf.
What, as Otto took off, what did Lucid do?
Oh, as Otto took off, I followed him. Did he come back or
Yeah.
no?
Yeah.
Well, I
So,
guess I just kind of followed him back.
so you are now on the grounds with the rest of the group.
Yep.
So is Lucid going to attempt to go find Claire, or what are you gonna do for the rest of the evening?
I'm gonna go try to find Claire.
Gi- Give me a perception roll to see if you can talk to one of the staff and find out where she is.
I got a 9.
They're not wanting to tell you. So are you gonna go searching on your own, or are you just gonna give up?
I guess I'll go search on my own.
So give me an investigation roll as you snoop in various doors around the house.
I got a 17.
After some searching, you finally come to a door that's slightly ajar, and it turns out to be Claire's bedroom, and she is sitting on the bed.
I saunter in. So fancy seeing you here.
Luke.
In your own bedroom.
She said I could say the same about you.
Oh, you fancy seeing me here?
What in the world are you doing on this island?
Well, apparently this guy knows where there's a mountain of drugs. We've been caught up in a bit of a roundabout deal.
Uh,
And you know me, I've never been small time.
What was that? I
You
didn't
know
hear.
me, I've never been small time.
Yes, but you've always been somewhat confusing.
Hey, if you're not smart enough to keep up, you can just say that.
Well, I have my own reasons for being here. So
I'm
I hear,
here for the drugs.
well, Genesium can be used for several things. Drugs are only one.
Hmm. Cryptic.
If you know how, you can make street drugs out of almost anything. And there's always people that will buy it from you.
Yeah, I heard about that tribe down in the southern Wales that like gets high off their own poop.
When it's all you've got, it's all you've got. So I hear you're doing a job for Mr. Fredrickson at this point.
Yeah, something about a limit. Ugh. Oh my, aren't you tired? There's something about eliminating some group.
Yeah, from what I hear, the Iron Shadow want to muscle in on Mr. Fredrickson's Genesium trade.
Yeah, well, they don't have any chance of that with me here.
Yeah.
I'm doing all the muscling in myself.
I'd be careful about that if I were you.
Oh, well, you won't tell anyone.
I don't need to.
Cryptic. Very cryptic.
Very interesting concert earlier, I must say.
It's like a new style. It's very far out there. We're on the bleeding edge.
You could definitely say that.
All of our dragonborns were ethically sourced.
The- okay.
You know, ethics are important in this kind of business.
Ethics are definitely subjective at this point. Um, my only issue with the whole thing is the amount of bodies in our front yard right now.
Hey, I mean, if you didn't want a bunch of bodies, you wouldn't have thrown a concert.
Well, we didn't count on there being unconscious and dead bodies. We assumed that people would sort of leave when the concert was over.
I mean, you really might have hired a little bit more security if you knew people like this were on the loose.
Oh,
So, I mean, really, it's on you, right? Like, won't you have your goon squad come clean this up? Or do you not have daddy's money anymore?
if I had daddy's money, would I be here?
That's a fair point.
Besides, you were on the same ship when he died.
That's why I figured you'd have his money.
Um, he owed some people.
He owed some people 3 million crowns?
More than that.
Oh.
That's why I'm hiding out here at the moment.
Well, I know an island off the coast uh of Chen. We could like go settle down or something.
Interest,
At least till the fuzz dies down.
interesting thought. And am I supposed to just pack my stuff and tell Mr. Fredrickson that I'm just sort of exiting now, or
Well, I mean, I wouldn't tell him.
so you just leave at like 2 in the morning and vanish into thin air?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say you've hooked up with a seriously interesting bunch of people, that's for sure.
I barely know those guys.
How about this? If you survive the job that you're supposed to do for Mr. Fredrickson, I'll consider it.
Well, I mean, we probably won't survive. So how about we just call it a quick kiss and that's it?
You have immense faith in your group, don't you?
Well, I mean, we're a calamity.
At this point, she smiles, walks over to the bedroom door and closes it, and says, I guess you're staying here tonight.
Yes, so.
And with that, we exit Claire's room to find the rest of you doing what?
Well, you said there was extra booze, so I'm gonna grab a bottle and ask Smite and or the satyr if they want to join me in my room because I have a thing for edgy looking girls with horns growing out of their heads, and I got two of them right here. So I'm gonna take my chances with Wonderbolt.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we do need to hose you down.
You might want to do
Both
that
of us are up.
outside. You might want to do that outside.
Did we already pick all the pockets? I just want to make sure.
You had all the wallets already. They gave them to you freely.
Yeah, I mean, like that was consent.
Yeah, we didn't even rob these guys. We just told them to give us their wallets and they
It's
did.
a donation.
What about the jewelry they're wearing or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I mean, like when I'm faded, I forget what's in my pockets.
well, considering all of them were like drugged out and frightened beyond belief by what they were seeing. So, these three go back, clean off the Dragonborn and go back into her room with each one carrying a different bottle of alcohol. So, what is Otto doing?
Well, as soon as he's finished eating as much as he feels capable of, he'll transform back into a human, eat as much as he feels capable of, and then go to his room for the night and just try to crash so that he can have more food in the morning.
Take a raven for the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I take it you're not going to get together and plan how you're gonna deal with the Iron Shadow until morning.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
we
this
can
point.
we can figure that out in the morning.
Yeah.
I figure we're gonna blast him.
It's not the worst plan.
I assuming that you're yelling this from Claire's room, from underneath the door.
Yeah.
Oh, I imagine he'd be yelling other things from underneath the door in Claire's room, not necessarily related to the Iron Shadow.
I don't know. So far, he has not been the smoothest with Claire.
So cute. So cute. I'm taking notes over here.
Considering the last time he and Claire saw each other, her mother and father both died on the boat they were on.
I'm sure she's processed that and integrated it fully.
Well, Claire killed them, didn't she?
Yeah,
I'm
she
sure
she
We still need to process that.
she's the one that off both. Actually, no. She offed one of them and Lucid off the other one.
Oh, okay.
Because Lucid stepped on the boat and the first thing he did was put an arrow in one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, I just have one hyphenated word for that: trauma bonding.
Well, no, they were an on and off couple even before that. Fact, Lucid was shocked to see her walk out of this stateroom cabin of the ship they were on. Yeah. So at this point, Otto is asleep. The three of you are busy getting completely wasted and doing whatever else you are doing in the process of getting wasted. So the four of you do not hear the odd noises that are coming out of Claire's room with the two of them.
Are we talking intriguing odd or kind of odd?
Burning.
Like what kind of odd are we
Like I'm
talking
not sure I
about?
want to know kind of
Little bit of column A, little bit of column B.
Let's just say this wouldn't be considered a romantic evening.
Okay.
There's squeaking and clinking of metal and yeah. So
I don't know. That screams romance to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
and you'll have to wait till morning to find out who was on what end of what. So, so what happens in the Dragonborn's room with the three of you? I will let the three of you tell that story.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
No, that's just the sound of us rubbing the polish off the dragonborn.
Yeah, I was gonna say normally Dragonborn noises are a bit louder than that.
That'll buff right out.
And given, do the 3 bottles of alcohol get finished before the night is over?
Absolutely.
I was gonna say, probably.
This was a rager.
I mean, we're probably going to spend at least part of the time counting all of the money in the wallets. Making a big pile of it, just wriggling in it. Because what else do you do with a big pile of money?
Especially with the Dragonborn.
The Dragonborn would tend toward the shinier things in the pile.
I am one of the shinier things in the pile.
They're not. Dragonborns are not quite as drawn to shiny things as actual dragons are, but they do have the tendency. So, coins and stones and gems and things you'd be all into.
I'm gonna take some of the leftover wax and rub one of the coins with it and kind of look at it in the light. It's all shiny.
Yeah. And size wise, she's holding her alcohol better than the other two because she's probably twice your weight. So you would be tipsy where they would be drunk.
I'm sure she won't take advantage of that.
Not at all.
Are you sure? You want to roll over that?
I mean, what would we roll? Dexterity?
I don't know.
For what? For what?
For what?
Just oh, you would roll performance.
Oh, well, if we roll performance for that, I'm in the wrong career.
All right. We should probably wrap up about here because we're
Okay.
a little over
You're,
time.
A
yeah.
little over time.
And so next time we will see what happens come morning with this somewhat confused group. And we will see if Lucid ever comes out of Claire's room again. Because there's a good chance maybe not.
You know, if I die, I died happy.
Didn't say anything about dying. Just said she might not let you out.
Good to know you walked in there with the idea that you might die and still went with it.
Well, considering the last time they met, each one of them killed one of her parents. It's like it's a thing with the two of them. But and we will see how sober the other three end up being by morning. And whether Otto has actually left any food in the house by morning. Um, and whether they ever actually get to the job they were meant to do.
About that.
Yeah. Because the amount of genesium you come up with depends on that. So,
Yeah.
or at least the beginning chunk of it. So, but that will all be for next time. And I hope you guys had a lot of fun.
For sure.
The whole thing was hilarious.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. My dog's having a nightmare on the floor behind me.
Great.
Making little noises.
And he's dreaming about shiny dragonborns.
I've been dreaming about being chased by giant squirrels or something.
Yeah. Prehistoric squirrels that are 12 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
um, and for the people watching, I hope they had as much fun with this as we did. And be sure and tune in to see how all this goes, and tune in Tuesday for the next episode of Mage after a long time.
Yeah. And yeah, check out our Anchor, check out our Twitter, talk to us on Discord.
And our Facebook, and
Yeah.
you can leave comments on the actual YouTube videos because we will get around to answering those too. And so there are several ways you can get a hold of us.
Smoke signals are best.
Mm.
If you manage smoke signals, we will totally watch them. Or skywriting.
Does anybody else have anything they want to add before we go?
Nope. Check out Rowan and Robin's writing. It'll be linked in the description here in a little bit.
Ooh, we get linked in the description
Oh.
now? Fancy.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah. That's my plan. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Mm. We'll be back soon in various incarnations of the group.
Yep. Hope you had fun. Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.